All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is another episode of Straight from the Block, only on 92.6, The Spot. I'm your host, Aplano. My co-host, holla at him real quick. Quest, you on mute. I don't know why.
His mic is muted.
Yes.
Stop playing with me, B. You already know what it is. It's your boy Quest Road, a.k.a. Crip Bayless, a.k.a. Silverback Bang, a.k.a. Stop playing with me, you heard?
AKA Ask him out, man. You already know what it is, man. Let's get it.
And we got a special guest today, my man, the owner of Furbergs, a proud new father. My man Haitian Ferg is in the building.
Thanks for having me. Gentlemen. I'm more than happy to be here.
I just want to ask the first question real quick. Why the fuck y'all got me up so early on the damn Saturday?
Because the early bird gets the worm.
Facts.
That's why.
Birds eat worms. Silverback gorillas eat.
You don't even know what you eat. You don't even know what you eat.
Whatever though. I don't care about that.
Get you a bowl of Raisin Bran and call it a day, man. Cut it out. So we would start off with playoff talk, but I'm not gonna do that. We just represent, and you can see a couple of people here representing for stuff that's just going on in the NBA.
Can I say something about that?
We're not gonna even do that. We're gonna have some fun.
Can I just say something about that?
No.
I just want to start it off on a positive note. I'm really happy for you guys. I'm not a Knicks fan per se, but I do like to see y'all doing good because it does something to the city's lit.
It is.
When y'all be winning, the city be lit. So that's I'm happy for you. It's been a long time coming. I'm happy for you guys.
Thank you, sir.
I'm still gonna get my salt and pepper wings, but I'm still happy for you guys. I'm still happy for you guys.
Just in case for our guest today, Ferg, we made a bet. This guy's going for the Cavs. My man Quest Bro's going for the Cavs. So if the Knicks lose, I owe him some salt and pepper wings.
So do I, because I'm one of them.
Both of y'all.
Both of us owe him.
They both picked the Cavs.
No. Just him. Me and him we both picked the Knicks. But if we lose, we both gotta give him wings.
And then if y'all win, he gotta buy wings for the both of y'all.
Yeah, exactly.
That's leverage.
Yes.
It's all right. I have faith in my New York brethren, Spider Mitchell. I have faith.
Have faith in him. Do you have faith in the rest of the team is the question.
That's the thing, because he looked like he held back yesterday to try to get the other guys going, and they couldn't get going, man.
That's a lot of these superstars' problem these days. KD has that problem.
Like they don't want to take over the game from the beginning, but at the same time, it's like, yo, if you see that Garland ain't got it, and mind you, Garland was like 0 for 11 to start the game.
Yeah.
But look, I'm happy he did it that way, because when they tried to put it together, we were already going.
It was too late.
Yeah,
That's the LeBron James syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
The Joffrey James syndrome.
Ferg, if you remember, what really happened is game one, he was chucking. It isolated Garland, and Garland felt the way. You could tell during the game, Garland felt the way game one.
Mm-hmm.
But Donovan Mitchell had all his points. Game two, he let Garland get going, and he took a back seat. So he tried it again game three. And game three, it ain't work.
And don't forget, game two, he took a back seat. He still had 13 assists.
Yep.
Because a lot of those passes were going to Garland.
Exactly.
They're gonna figure it out. They're gonna figure it out. So he knows how much I want these wings.
Yeah.
He's gonna figure it out. He know how much I want these wings. He gotta figure it out.
Well, so let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. I came across a couple of little situations and scenarios, not even situations, a couple of scenarios that I pose to you guys. I said ahead of time. I'm curious to hear what you guys got to say, right? So there was this post I came across on TikTok, and this guy says, okay, if you could think of 2 NBA players to start a franchise, what would the 2 players be? However, he provided a set of individuals, A, B, C, and D. I want to hear what you guys' picks are first, and then what would your personal picks would be for starting a franchise with 2 players. Now, the picks was A, Kobe and Kareem, B, LeBron and Joker, C, Mike and the Dream. I already know that's K's pick. And D, KD and Shaq. So let's start with our guest. Let's give our guest the first range. Which one of these 4 would you pick?
I'm going with MJ and the Dream.
Okay. Yeah. Why specifically? Any specific reason why?
I think that of that group of like the pairings that they put together, they're the one pairing that could defend in any era and also dominate in any era. Hakeem's athleticism, there's still dudes till this day that can't figure out that footwork. And they're both fundamentally sound. And given Hakeem's body build, right? If you told Hakeem, listen, we're gonna need you to step out to the 3 and hit a couple, Hakeem could do it.
Yeah, he could do it.
He could do it.
Yeah,
he did that. Yeah. If you told him we're gonna need you to defend the rim and be a stretch 5, he could do it. We're gonna need you to get down on the block, he could do it.
Yeah, no, it's not, he couldn't do it.
Yeah, there's nothing he couldn't do. I mean, look. My favorite player is Patrick Ewing of all time, right? He roasted Patrick Ewing, roasted Shaquille O'Neal in the finals. He made an embarrassment out of David Robinson. I mean, to me, Hakeem's the best center that ever played, in my opinion. Only because of his skill set. He's got a skill set that I haven't seen yet in the league from a big dude.
Okay, so if you had to choose,
I'd
offer this list, anybody in the NBA, 2 players to start a franchise with, what would it be? Who would they be?
To start a franchise with, off the list, and I could pick anybody.
Anybody.
Oh boy. I'm still picking Jordan. Honestly, bro, I might just stay with the same pairing. No, you know what it is? That I never thought about that pairing until I saw them together. And it's crazy because they were drafted right after each other, if I'm not mistaken. Houston went with Hakeem, and then Portland went with Bowie, and then Chicago went with Jordan, right? In the 84 draft.
I think
and
so.
It's like, honestly, just think about what the NBA would have been if those 2 players were on the same team. Imagine that.
Nobody on the ring.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's a dynasty right there. In the 90s? Oh man. I honestly, when I saw that list, I'm like, I don't know that I wouldn't pick another team. Like, I think it's them. Yeah.
All right. So, K, who's your pick? Let's see what you got. What you got, K? I know that's your pick.
Yeah. So why would you come? I thought you were going to go to Quest next to kind of mix it up, like give it some spice, because you know I'm going with the same.
So let Quest go. Let Quest go there. Let's Quest pick his. We don't want to hear the repeat of what Ferg just said.
Exactly. You said it perfectly, guy. You know.
I'm a little torn between A and D. Pause. Like this, KD and Shaq would be beastie. KD and Shaq would be beastie. I don't like Kareem at all, so that's what's probably gonna make me. I don't know why I don't like him. I just don't like him. I don't think he was that good. That's just me. I don't think he was that nice.
The Sky Hook?
Sky idiot. That shit is dumb. I guess. Whatever. Like, to me, it's the worst move ever. I just don't think Kareem was that nice. That's just me. Maybe I didn't see it. What everybody's seen. I just don't. So I'm gonna I'm a damn. I hate to go against Kobe, huh?
I mean, he's like the all-time scorer. Besides, you know,
Yeah,
just pass me every day. But besides that,
it's the one indefensible shot ever created.
I mean,
and nobody's getting duplicated.
The most under-fucking defensible shot ever is Steph Curry's jumper.
Okay, but that now we're talking about eras because
I mean, like I get it. He's fucking 7 foot 100, long ass arms. Yeah, it makes sense. But I don't know what I just think he's that good. I don't know. I just don't like him. And I hate that they paired him with Kobe because I never go against the guard. But I think I'm gonna have to go with KD and Shaq. KD is like KD and Shaq would be beastie. There's nothing you could do with those two. The only thing, I mean, Shaq ain't the greatest defender, neither is KD. They decent, but if I'm gonna start, I could get a good point guard to go around them, get a defending shooter guard to go around them, and a power forward like a Weberish that could do a little bit of everything. And I will build it off that. I'm gonna go KD and Shaq. I think Shaq is the best center ever.
You know what it is? I think he's the most dominant.
I wouldn't be mad at anybody that believes Hakeem is.
He's the most dominant. Like
to me, dominant means I'm better than everybody. To me, that means you can't stop. The only Shaq had flaws, and it still didn't matter. That's what to me makes him beefy. Like he can't shoot no free throws. He wasn't a greater defender. He was a good defender though. He's not as bad as people. Like he said, he's top 10 in blocks.
Right.
He's not as bad as people may think. And you still just wasn't coming to the rim while he's there. Like he had flaws, and there was nothing you could do about the flaws. It didn't matter that there's flaws. Move, arg. That's it. Yeah. It's like this nigga was fucking Rhino. Like this nigga was...
and you know the other thing too for Shaq that he also had going for him is that he was one of the last few dominant centers when he came in. Like, think about who he had to play against when he came.
He played against the greatest centers that time.
He played against the golden era of centers.
Hakeem, David, Ewing. It was the best centers. Like that was the best position in the NBA probably at the time.
Yeah, so it's not like you could have said, "Oh, he wasn't playing against nobody." No. He was a rookie when centers were still.
Like you said, Hakeem busted his ass. Like he would get his ass bust at times, but he was doing a lot of ass busting. Pause.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And KD's probably the most well-rounded, efficient scorer we ever seen. Efficient. He shoots out of efficient. Like, there's people with bags that he got, but he's efficient. High clip, high percentage. It's efficient. He gonna if he take 10 shots, he gonna get 40 or 10 shots somehow. Like he's a KD's beastie, man. KD's.
You know, they said that with KD, like analytically, he's one of the most like you put him through any algorithm and the numbers speak for itself. Like he's one of the few players where the numbers match the eye test.
And I think he can play in any era.
Yeah, I think so too. Because the thing is, like when you look at him, he kind of looks like a George Gervin build.
Yeah.
Just imagine George Gervin with a jump shot.
Only thing, George Gervin has some cuts. Like KD, niggas a bone. Like literally everything's just straight. Like there's no contour to it. Like you supposed to be skinny and cut. Like you just.
If there's one person that put KD on his ass would be Carmelo. Carmelo put KD on his ass.
Oh yeah, OD. Move.
No, KD couldn't play back in the day. They would be a little too physical for him. That's just my opinion. He would have to put on weight. He would have to put on some type of muscle. Because back in the day, they would be.
Everybody wasn't brolic back in the day, though. Everybody wasn't brolic. Reggie Miller.
I didn't say brolic. But Jordan wasn't brolic. But Jordan hit that weight room.
Look at Reggie Miller.
Jordan hit that weight room.
Yeah.
Jordan hit that weight room. And even Reggie Miller could take some physicality. I don't think KD could take physicality. That's just me.
I think once you in it, you get it. He plays in the day where he don't get it. Like me, when I got older, I got more physical because I started playing with physical people. and I was usually the biggest nigga on the court most of the time, right? So then you get used, you grow with it. You get what I'm saying? Like you get more physical as you're playing with more physical people. So I think like him at that time, yeah, he would have evolved into it. You know what I mean? I mean, it still would have been probably like his crunch, like still would have been his weakness. You still body him up, but it wouldn't be as bad as we think.
So Quest, pick your two to start a franchise with.
I'm going with Penny and Kobe.
Ooh.
I would start with Penny and Kobe. That backcourt right there, big defense. Like Penny was I don't think people realize how good of a defender Penny was.
I'm mad at you right now. I'm mad at you right now, but I'm not mad at you right now.
Penny's one of my favorite players all time, bro.
That backcourt that he just put together. And you know what's funny? I have this conversation a lot too. Barring injury, and I'm gonna throw one more name in there. Grant Hill and Penny Hardaway were supposed to be the ones to bridge the NBA from Jordan to the LeBrons and the Kobe's.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be them.
Mm-hmm. Penny would have been. I think if Penny didn't get the injuries he got, he'd have been the best point guard ever. To me,
how about
look what he was doing to Mike? Like, look what they was like. Penny and
Penny, and the thing is, if those guys had those injuries now with the improved surgeries and science, they could have prolonged their careers. Because when you watch highlights of Penny, bro, what was Penny? 6'6"? 6'6", 6'7"?
6'7", yeah.
Yo, I'm telling what
Lanky.
Dunking on, I know Penny dunked on you.
Footwork was real on the low. Like his handle, like he was just beastly, bro. He was dotting niggas. Like Penny was a monster. Yo, that Orlando team, that was kind of like a perfect team. It was like a perfect team.
Scott, Horace Grant, Shaq with Penny.
Perfect. You had a good big man. You had the OG big man. Yeah, they had a perfect team, bro.
Even Scott Skiles was the pit bull.
Yeah.
He had the pit bull haircut and everything.
That team was decent, bro. Yeah, Penny's like one of my favorite players all time.
Yeah, me too.
So because we already know where K was going with his pick, how about would you stay to the same picks if you could choose any two players, K?
I'm going with Shaq and Mike. MJ and Shaq.
MJ and Shaq. Okay.
Because for me, Shaq is the most dominant force I've ever seen. He's the one force in the NBA that I've seen that there was absolutely no stopping him from getting 30 and 17 when he was ready to go. Once he got the little hook shot, once he got to the Lakers and actually got his.
I hated that shit. The little fake turn, but it's the left hand hook shot.
Tim Duncan made Shaq a better player because Shaq realized, damn, this nigga is really skilled. This offseason, I'm gonna learn some moves. And once Shaq got them little moves, he got like 2 moves. It wasn't many. Once he actually learned a little hook shot and some little footwork, it was
the bank off the glass move.
There was absolutely, and remember now, we said to start the franchise. We said to start my franchise with. There's no one who's going to put people in the seats and advertise. Remember, Shaq was doing everything when he came in. He was rapping. He was in movies.
Oh, you went a whole nother level with it.
I'm sorry, my franchise. I'm going to make sure. You know what I'm saying? Not only are we going to win,
Elon Musk.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Like, I'm going to make sure.
Entertained. I am.
Because Shaq is just that guy. Like I love Shaq. Since he came into the league and was just being himself naturally, like I was saying earlier, in the era of big men and in the era of everybody being serious, Shaq came in and changed it all because he was just a big clown. You know what I'm saying? And also a big money maker because he was the first one to be doing movies and rapping and all the stuff that he was doing when he was doing it. While he was still a dominant force in the league, was never done before. And he did it as a kid. He did it his way. Blue Chips, the movie. Everybody was jacking blue chips, like, you know what I'm saying?
You make a great point. You make a great point because I'll never forget Ron Artest got shitted on because he took time away from basketball to focus on his album.
That's what it was. He wasn't that good. If he was nice, it wouldn't have been a problem. And then Leonard took time off to go rap.
You know what? And you know what?
Shaq went platinum.
Wait a minute. Ron Artest had a rap album?
Exactly. I didn't know that.
Yo,
Where the fuck? How you from New York and you ain't know that? Where you been?
Yo.
This is when Ron Artest had the cuts in his eyebrows. Trying to
bro. What was that? That was what was that? India Rockets. Ron. I think it was after. It was Rockets, Ron. I think because it was after the fight, wasn't it?
No. This was while he was in Indiana.
It was
Oh, so it was before the fight.
Yeah.
So that nigga was like he tried to take off like in the middle of the season, like y'all need a couple months out about to drop.
Yes.
He actually went to management like, yo, this album's gonna drop. I'm gonna need like 2-3 months.
It was in a documentary. And Jermaine O'Neal's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, yo, we gotta make the playoffs.
But why you need time off?
That's why. To his point,
because I spit touch fire.
Shaq went platinum and still dominated.
Shaq got a Biggie feature nobody heard.
Listen, the Foo Snickers was okay. Shaq was the best member of the Foo Snickers. Shaq Fu, or what is Shaq Snickers, he was the best one to the point where he realized, I'm gonna go solo. And when he went solo, he definitely
wasn't part of the group.
Who wasn't part of the group? Shaq, he wasn't part of Foo Snickers.
Yes, he was. He dropped the album with him. Are y'all bugging? Are y'all crazy?
No, it was a song. I don't think he was on the whole album.
No, he wasn't on the whole album.
Nah, he wasn't part of the group. He was just on. He fucked with them.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
One thing I can't.
Nigga turned Shaq to a whole rapper.
One thing I can say.
Shaq was part of a rap group. That's the shit.
Turned him into a whole rapper.
I'm telling you.
Look, that's like Jay-Z being part of Original Flavor. Nah, they just did a track, bro.
Yeah, he just fucked with niggas.
It was more than one track.
Probably more than one track, but he wasn't part of the group.
But he wasn't part of the group. He didn't do a whole album. He didn't do a whole album.
He wasn't part of the group. He fucked with
y'all don't remember how many times he was on stage performing with him? Like, I was a fan.
But they only performed the same song.
I know a lot of dudes on stage with Busta Rhymes, and they all not flip moves.
But when he was on stage with them, they performed the same song.
No.
It was a bunch of different songs. It was the same song. Last move, and we ain't got nothing to prove. Last move, it was the same song. Nigga, remember that was the shit back then. That's what
I remember watching NBA Inside Stuff with a
I used
mod,
to be my shit.
and that was the same move Shaq would do. He coming out the SUV. He had the same thing. He had the head wrap. Oh man.
Yo, Shaq, but at the end of the day, Shaq was the best. He was like, for people that don't know, he was that entertaining from day one. He was that money. He was that from day one. And when he stepped on the court, you never questioned. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy? Now that you said that too, niggas don't have personality like that no more.
Nah.
No. They
Who the fuck in the NBA got a personality like that? You like?
They do. It's now that social media is what it is. Dudes are so more wrapped up in giving the fans what they want on the gram. Shaq didn't. Could you imagine if Shaq had Instagram and Facebook?
Oh my
back
God.
in the 90s?
Well, shit. Shaq probably would have bought it because Shaq probably started on the low. Nigga, Shaq started everything. Like, nigga, Shaq invested in everything, bro. Like, that nigga, he probably started Instagram on the low. Like, nigga, Shaq started everything. I'm like, God damn, this nigga part of that.
Shaq was social media before there was social media.
Fact.
But I will say this. I think, and this is just me personally, I think Dwight tried to duplicate that and wasn't able to.
Wasn't as
yeah, and
he wasn't a winner.
I think everybody has different personalities in the NBA, but I can't even speak to somebody in the NBA right now I think will be cool to follow or watch on social media, or seems like they have a great personality. I can't even name anybody. I can't even name anybody.
I follow a couple of people, but like I follow Dame Lillard because he do the rap shit. And
I'm just talking about just being themselves.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, no, I ain't gonna lie. I follow Ja because Ja entertains me. That's just me.
Who? Ja.
Ja.
Well,
yeah, I like fuckery.
Ja's a good name because he will be in a bunch of shit. That's his
issue. I like fuckery, so I'm following fuckery. I follow the fuckery.
He'll be in a bunch of fuckery,
nigga,
and that will be entertaining.
When he was in the video, I was like, yeah, my nigga, make that shit, you heard?
Let me ask you a question. Did you cash app him when they took that money?
Cash app what? Man, that nigga been cash app.
You got to send him a super chat.
Hey, listen. That nigga can be on his worst day and see more money than I'm ever gonna probably see in my life. Man, fuck that shit. You gonna cash at me, nigga? I'm trying to help. Get me in your circle. Give me a job. I'll help you. I'll make sure all this shit disappears. I'll make sure the 17-year-old nigga disappear. I'll make sure the Portland Trail, who he had to beef with, the Trailblazers, somebody got to go. I get rid of everybody if you need me to.
You be the hired gun.
Listen, hey, Ja, don't do that. I got it. Hey, put it away.
That's what some of them boys that was outside the pulled up in the car with the red beam was doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they was doing.
How they know that's not his security?
They did that.
Like maybe his
security. The Homeboy Security Network.
The Homeboy Security
Network.
They
were in Indiana of all places. Like, bro, you don't do that in Hickstown.
Everybody get it. Indy 500, Indy 400. I don't care. Nigga get these 400 shots.
If they had red dot lasers coming out the car in Dykeman, they would have shot back at the car.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Niggas can't come to New York with that bullshit. Niggas can't come to New York with that bullshit. It'd have been a big ass shootout. Everybody would have backed out.
Nah, he knew where to do it, which is why, you could tell he ain't it. He ain't that.
Hold on, let me tell you this about Ja. Let me tell you this. As a real nigga, usually when real niggas get around a nigga that they feel is faking it or ain't real, they try the nigga. Nobody's tried this nigga.
Well, here's the thing. They
even
don't
on the court. Niggas say he talk. Nobody tried him on the court. Nobody tried him outside the court. Like nobody tries the nigga.
Listen, I don't doubt it for a minute. But again, if you think about what his entourage is, look, nobody tried Allen Iverson either. And
we knew Allen Iverson was like that. Like, we knew Allen Iverson's gonna, if he get into it, we know he gonna scrap. He gonna be.
Don't forget, Allen Iverson went to jail before he got drafted.
Yeah, facts. I didn't like the narrative that they was trying to post. Like, to me, it was stupid. Like, oh, Ja's not really like that. How do you know that? Like, what makes you think? Oh, because he has both his parents. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard.
No,
killers I know with both their parents.
But let me tell you, because we getting way off topic. But real quick.
Oh, by the way, I would not start my team with Ja. I'm just letting y'all know.
No, neither would I. So the reality is, though, whether it was Steven Adams, Dylan Brooks, Desmond Bain, all these people rallied around Ja. Ja never really jumped in the person's face and act like he was going to swing. And until that moment happens, until he has his Chris Childs moment,
right?
Nobody's going to take him as the tough guy. He can still be the leader of the team, of the tough guys, but he's not the guy until he shows.
But that's what you're supposed to do to the big homie. You're supposed to protect the big homie. You're not supposed to.
But
you can't come to 216 Park and get in my face.
Okay, but you can still be the leader and not be the toughest.
Yeah, but everybody at 216 Park know that you can defend yourself. We haven't seen Ja even,
Well, do we have to make the narrative that he can't?
No, we gotta see it before we believe it.
Yeah, don't believe you.
Yet. We need more people.
I don't know. The way he moved, I'm like, I believe it. I don't know. Maybe not for you.
I think you want to believe it, but that's not either here.
I just really like Ja. I just really like Ja.
See, I really felt that energy.
I like Ja a lot. Like, I like him a lot. So yeah, maybe that's what it is.
So I'm gonna run through my picks real quick. My pick was KD and Shaq. I thought if you're building a franchise, it'll be easier. One of the easiest to build around is them two. KD's unselfish and Shaq is dominant, so he'll be able to deflect to Shaq. It'll be easy to get a point guard to distribute to both of those guys and then get the other pieces around it. So I would have picked KD and Shaq out of that group. However, if I was picking my two, it would be Penny and David Robinson. So I think that tandem would, for some reason, I just see it like almost unstoppable as a tandem. And the way that they're both versatile, especially D-Rob as a center, oh my God, I think that would have been crazy. Because D-Rob could hit the three, he could play in and out, defend, rebound, back to D-Rob, you know, and D-Rob was one of my favorite centers. So I never seen David Robinson with a great point guard, and to pair him with Penny Hardaway.
Don't do that. He had Tony Parker at one time.
No, but that was late.
That wasn't great, Tony Parker.
Tim Duncan.
He had Avery Johnson. That was his point guard. He had Avery Johnson.
Please don't say
Tim Duncan had Tony Parker.
You're right. My fault.
He had two guys. He had Vinny Del Negro and he had Avery Johnson.
And imagine if those guys was Penny Hardaway.
Del Negro's like a two. He's two guard.
Yeah.
Vinny was a two guard. He was a shooter.
Vinny was a two. Yeah, he played both.
Vinny Del Negro was a shoot guard. Yes, basically.
I used to never like that name.
I never did either.
I thought he made that shit up.
It wasn't his fault.
You're stupid.
Nah, I think he made that shit up, bro. He's being racist.
You think so?
Yeah, he made that shit up.
His name is Del Negro.
Nah, Del Negro my ass. That nigga Del Negro.
Like David Stern sat him down the night he got drafted.
Like,
so, listen, son.
He came. He said, "Watch me do this shit." Ha ha ha.
We're gonna change your name. All right.
Yeah, that nigga made that shit up, bro. He came here to be racist.
If you want to play in this league,
blatantly racist. Yeah, he made that shit up.
So I think this will be really quick. We're gonna run through it. I'm gonna start with you, Quest. Paul George listed his list of two-way players at each position. I was thinking about this hard, and it's very hard for me to change any of these people he listed. I have only one that I was able to think of. But
name his team first. Go ahead. Name his team first.
His team is it was Gary Payton. This is by position in history. Gary Payton, Michael Jordan, Paul George himself, Kevin Garnett, and Hakeem. So the best two-way players in history, if you had to put the best two-way players in history, would you change anybody on this list? Quest, you go first real quick.
If I wouldn't pick, I would try to find somebody just that wasn't on the list. For point guard, I would probably go John Stockton.
Okay.
For two guard, I would go Kobe.
Two-way player.
Two-way player.
Yeah, Kobe had 12 all defensive. Yeah, stop playing with my son. Kobe got the second most all defensive mentions in NBA history.
Yeah, Kobe was two-way.
Playing with my son, and he got 8 first teams. Stop playing with my son.
Yeah, Kobe was two-way.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Kobe.
With the 3 out of PG or Kawhi, because they both play the power forward. I don't like KG. I don't want to say KG. I'm trying to think who the fuck was a two-way power forward. Tim Duncan?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Man. I would go Tim Duncan. And for center, either Dream or David. Yeah. I would probably keep the center.
All right, Kay, what you got?
I'm keeping Gary Payton and Michael Jordan. Even though he made a good point with Stockton, Stockton is, but I'm just keeping Gary Payton over him. I'm definitely going Scottie Pippen, probably the best defensive 3 of all time and underrated offensive game. I'm definitely going with Scottie. I already had Duncan for me because Tim Duncan was just the best fundamentally. He did defense, offense, he did it all. I'm taking Duncan all day, all night over KG, and I'm sticking with the Dream.
Okay, what you got, Fern?
So I'm gonna switch it up a little bit to make it interesting. I might shock you in the end of the lineup, but I like Gary Payton. I like Jordan. I was gonna go Pippen at the 3 as well, but for the 4 and 5, you can swap it either way you want. Bill Russell, Hakeem. Just think about it. nobody had an answer for Wilt Chamberlain except for Bill Russell.
He said all time too.
He's an all-time defensive player of the year, Bill Russell.
No. Listen. Bill Russell and the thing what I like about those two is that none of them are 7 foot. Hakeem and Bill Russell are both like 6'9", between 6'9",
6'10".
But not 7 foot. They both agile and they that's why you said any way you want, 4 or 5, it don't matter. I feel you on that.
They could play both. And when you think about
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's only because I wanted to, because I when D sent the list and I was looking through all-time defensive players, Bill Russell was at the top of the list.
Yeah, I forgot about Bill Russell.
See, that's the other thing. When we remember we were talking about most dominant players, about Pippen too. We forgot about Wilt. Wilt averaged 54 seasons.
All right, let me real quick. My thing with Wilt, I don't believe none of that shit. That's just me. I don't believe none of that shit.
20,000?
No, I don't believe. Well, maybe that. but all the other shit, I don't like. I find it weird. I could go find me a video of Hitler right now, but I can't find a video of this 100-point game.
Well, it was against the Knicks. Stephen A.
I don't give a fuck. I can go look up Hitler.
Okay. But
I can't look up Wilt.
To be fair, though, I mean they were taping NBA Finals games back.
They was taping Hitler, nigga.
The NBA wasn't big like that.
Hitler's like the real world supervillain in real life, and they got him on tape. And there's no tape on Wilt 100-point game.
No. Why are you comparing Hitler to Wilt, my nigga? Like, what is wrong?
I can go pull up Hitler right now and watch a few videos of Hitler. I can't watch no 100-point game of Wilt.
It was only the 100-point game happened once. All right.
Yeah.
I gotta see a game where he had 50 points, 50 rebounds, and 38 steals. I gotta see the game. I've never seen. I don't believe it. I think they make shit up. I don't believe it. I'm sorry.
So let me get this straight. Here's why I'm gonna give you an example of why you can't shit on Wilt. At the time that Wilt was playing, the NBA wasn't even that league. The NBA was so far behind baseball and football that you really didn't have coverage like that for the NBA. Because think about it. We don't got the video of the 100-point game, but we got videos of Babe Ruth eating hot dogs in a dugout after hitting Hitler. So the point I'm trying to make is I think a lot of it had to do with the coverage. Because like I was saying.
Right, so let me give you this about Wilt. Let me give you this about Wilt too. One, I feel like, think about it. All the other centers was like 6. Bill Russell was like 6'10". Willis Reed was like 6'10". Yeah. There wasn't too many 7-foot niggas. They came a little later, some of the 7-footers. Also, there was no 3 seconds. Like, Wilt bullshit, he's a bum. I think all the centers we named earlier were bust Wilt's ass.
The guy was dominant enough that they implemented the 3-second rule and widened the lane.
Because everybody was fucking 6'6".
Okay, I'll give you that.
He's a bum. I think Wilt Chamberlain is a bum. I think all the centers we named would bust his ass.
You think so?
So Quest, because you didn't see video footage, you want to discredit a man?
Yeah.
How much footage?
I did not see it. I don't give a fuck about this piece of paper.
How much footage have you seen of Oscar Robinson? How much footage have you seen?
I've seen footage of Oscar. I've seen footage of Oscar. I've seen footage of Hitler. I seen Hitler.
What is in your coffee, my dude?
Hello, it's Russian coffee.
What are you drinking right now, dude? What's in your coffee, my boy? So,
ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you wake Quest up too early.
You know what he was doing? You know what he was
have the juice cancel us before we get started, man. Like,
Quest woke up and he was watching Hitler documentaries, and we interrupted him with this podcast.
I believe you. I believe you, sir.
Like, it's so much crazy shit I can pull up that I shouldn't be able to see, but I can't see this. All I see is this stupid ass piece of paper. Fuck that paper. That's like I can take a picture right now with a paper that says some bullshit. That's some bullshit. They had a camera to take the picture. They didn't have a camera to film the game.
There were people in attendance who can say I was there and I saw it.
Verified, including Bill Russell.
Guess what? Why the fuck was Bill Russell there?
Well, no, it was against the Knicks. I don't think Bill Russell was there.
Oh, it was against the Knicks? Okay.
Clyde Frazier talks about it all the time.
Listen,
he was there.
That lady from Titanic is alive.
Nah, I still think she should have.
I believe she can prove that there's a Titanic. Can't nobody tell me shit about this 100-point game. The most points ever scored in the NBA game was 81.
Clyde is there. Clyde could tell you about that.
Clyde wasn't fucking there. That nigga was, all them niggas was on the Yayo Splash. They probably all the managers of that shit. They was all on the fucking Preludes and the fucking Coke. The niggas imagine that shit.
Yo, I swear, Quest is a podcast all by himself. My dude got Hitler, Quaaludes.
Yeah. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not even gonna touch the two-way players. I'm gonna leave them as they are because I don't got nothing left after Quest rant. I'm
sorry, I have to get it off my chest. I hate that shit. I'm sorry.
Since Ferg mentioned Bill Russell and then Wilt Chamberlain came up, right? I want to talk about, this is a very, very important topic to me. Rings or greatness. So Russell got all the rings. That's a perfect example. Russell got all the rings. Wilt got the accolades. There's nobody can take away Wilt's greatness.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't have the rings that Russell has.
Mm-hmm.
I think the NBA has been translated into a league where if you don't got no rings, you nobody. Mm-hmm. Right? You're nobody unless you got a ring, which took away and takes away from the greatness of some guys like Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing. I could go on, I could go on, and I could go on. We've seen greatness that don't have any rings, but we in an era where rings is everything. So I'm gonna ask you guys individually. We'll start with Ferg. If you were a professional sports player, what would you choose? Having a championship or just being great? Which one is more important to you?
Here's my okay. I when I saw this, I had a follow-up question for it.
Mm-hmm.
Am I also great on the championship team, or am I Kenny Smith?
You know what? You know what?
That was my question too.
You could be Robert Horry and get 6 rings.
I honestly say,
in Horry's defense, though, he contributed to those rings.
No. See, you could contribute. I'm not saying you don't got to be a bus rider. Kenny Smith did his part.
Yeah,
sure he did.
Kenny Smith did his part. Sam Cassell did his part. Robert Horry did his part. Mad Max did his part. Listen, there's guys that did their part, right?
Yeah.
But we know the main guy was the Dream. Let's just say that. So the Dream was not only great, but he got a championship.
That's what I'm asking because
right. So now, if the question really is this, would you prefer? I'll break it down that way. Would you prefer to be Steve Kerr, right? Mm-hmm. Or would you prefer to be Charles Barkley?
I'll be Charles Barkley. Because you know what it is? Over time, Steve Kerr will be forgotten. Over time. As time goes on.
He's the coach of the Golden State Warriors, so he kind of got a restart.
But hold on, let Ferg finish. Go ahead.
Only from the player point, like from that point. Because put it this way, if you look at how the world remembers people, they remember you based upon how other people saw you at the time, right? So, yeah. Like I said, Robert Horry got 5 rings? Steve Kerr got 5 rings.
7.
You know, like 7, right?
Yeah, 7. Like that.
But when you think about being great, Charles Barkley will be an all-time great. Patrick Ewing, all-time great. Karl Malone, John Stockton, like that whole dream team. is full of players that Michael Jordan made sure none of them won. You know, so it's like I would rather be great, and then the caveat would be, man, if it wasn't for that super great one, all these dudes would have won. You get what I'm saying? So it was like the only thing you had to say against Charles is that he wasn't MJ. That was his only negative.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With Ewing, it was the same thing. It was just like he wasn't MJ and he didn't have a good supporting cast, but it didn't take away from his greatness. I remember Michael Jordan said something when Patrick Ewing had retired, right? And they had given snippets of all his, the players. And he was just like, Ewing's a champion. He's a champion. He just doesn't have the rings to show. And it's like, yeah, having the rings, it's a good piece to have, but it doesn't necessarily define you as a champion. And I agree with that. I agree with that because as a Knicks fan,
I mean, you lost the greatest.
Yeah, I've seen Patrick Ewing put everything out there, and the guy's an all-time great. His number's retired. Knicks fans that never saw him play are gonna look up at the rafters. Who was number 33? And they could go to YouTube. It's not gonna be a picture of 100. They actually got footage, so don't be talking shit.
Real shit happened with Ewing.
Yeah, they'll be able to go back and say, "Oh, that's who he was. He's the all-time great. Okay, great. Oh, Willis Reed played in a game where he had to take a shot. Okay, Walcott Frazier had one of the best games in final history. So for me, I'd rather be great, take my chances. If I win a chip, great. If I don't, I'm still great. I'm still great."
Okay, what you think?
That's easy. I'm gonna be Charles Barkley. Like if you gonna say Charles Barkley or Steve Kerr, because I feel like the social media right now is the one that wants to dim people's greatness, like a Dame Lillard. Like if Dame Lillard never leaves Portland and stays in Portland, is he not going to be a Hall of Famer? Is he not going to be the all-time great in Portland? And everybody who played against Dame in this era is going to respect his name, and talk about him, like you said. We're remembered by how the players who played with you, how they talk about you. So it's like, if Luka never gets a ring, does that take away from Luka's greatness and what we're seeing right now from Luka Doncic? It's like, think about it like that. It's like we're looking at a lot of athletic and great players right now, but some of them may never get a ring. It's not going to take away from them changing the game, being all-time greats. Steve Kerr, just as a basketball player, when you think about every championship team and every championship team that he was on, he wasn't the first, second, or third option.
Not even the fourth.
So even people in Chicago, some Chicago Bull fans are gonna forget that Steve Kerr was even there. You know what I'm saying? When he was on the Spurs, you got some diehard San Antonio Spurs fans who now they're gonna remember that Kerr was on the team when they won the chip. You understand what I'm saying to you? But every team that Charles Barkley ever played on, they remember that he was on that team, whether they won or not. The fan base, the city, everybody knows that Charles was on that team. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I'm definitely going with greatness, because a Hall of Famer and my number being in the Raptors and me being an all-time great, it is what it is. Rings don't define people. Like I said, social media and people making arguments for each other and their favorite players right now in this era has made it seem like, oh, you need a ring to be great. No, you need a ring for your fan base to win an argument versus somebody who has multiple rings. Because it's really fans going against fans. It's never players going against players. It's fans and it's reporters who need something to write about. So they create narratives and they create different, categories to compare the athletes. But greatness is greatness. A Hall of Famer is a Hall of Famer. And to have a Hall of Fame career where everybody in my era respected me and would say, yo, that boy was a bad motherfucker. Like, you ain't want no parts of him. Okay, you wanted no part of him. On his bad night, he would embarrass you. That's the big homie right there.
Yeah.
Not too many people talk about Steve Kerr like that. It's like he'll hit that open shot. Don't give him an open shot. But he ain't gonna come out here and embarrass you on his worst night.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Quest, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I think it's gonna be the same across the board. I'd rather be great. Like, I'm gonna put it like this. Like, so boom, when I was doing music, right? And I'm arguably the greatest rapper of all time. But that's neither here nor there. My goal, like, if I'd have got a Grammy, it'd have been cool. But my goal was to be respected amongst my peers. I wanted Fab to be like, nah, that boy Quest nice. I wanted Jay to be like, nah, that boy Quest. Like, I mean, my goal was to be respected. Any accolades that came with it is cool. But the respect of my peers, and for not even just my peers, for people to be like, when they hear me, be like, nah, that nigga nasty, bro. Like, you can't say nothing bad about me when it comes to rapping. Like, that boy good. Like, I mean, like, so it's the same thing for basketball. Like, Barkley and these dudes was losing to the same person. Like, MJ just said, nobody's gonna win while I'm here. So I can't even be mad. Like, he stopped mad people shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they all kept losing to this one person. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was one person that stopped them. And if it wasn't for that one person, who knows how many rings these other guys would have had. Like, Iverson's almost like the prime example. Iverson's was a monster, bro, and he just couldn't get the ring, bro. Iverson ain't gonna be less great because Iverson changed basketball, like, without a ring. You know what I'm saying? He made niggas get a dress code. He made niggas change multiple rules. Like, is he less great because he don't have a ring? There's a lot of niggas with rings that ain't impact basketball the way Iverson has. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather Barkley's Barkley, bro. Like, and the only thing that make it bad for Barkley is he's on the panel with Shaq and Kenny. So they can always just get at him like, hey, you ain't got one of these. Like, that's like how they always get at Barkley. But besides that, that's why, like, when people be getting mad, like the players be getting mad at Barkley for saying, I'm like, well, he's better than y'all. Like, you're gonna be mad at a nigga that was better than y'all. What you gonna say to Carl Barkley? He's right. He's better than y'all. He'll bust your ass, Draymond. You can't hold Barkley at all. Y'all probably the same height. You know what I mean? Like,
people don't understand how good Barkley was in his prime.
Barkley was a monster, bro.
Undersized at that. The dude was a 6'4" power forward playing.
And he had a scat on the low. And he hit the three. Like, yo, bro, Barkley was a monster, bro. And like, he was great, bro. Like that, I wanted that Phoenix team to win so bad. I wanted to, like, but niggas got it. Niggas ran into Bowser. Everything was Bowser. Niggas wasn't getting past Bowser, bro.
I know this ain't the topic, but it goes to show you, like, how many. Think about the roster of people that lost to Jordan. They're all Hall of Famers.
Yeah, most of them, yeah.
They're all Hall of Famers. When you run down the list of people Jordan had to beat to get to it, and mind you, not just the people he beat in the finals.
Oh, playoff. Yeah, one playoff run where he went against all the other. He was MVP, but he went against the top 4 MVPs in the playoff run.
Yes. So,
like, niggas be forgetting, like, niggas, you know what, the like, I know we're getting a little off, but you know, niggas arguing for Joffrey James to be, MJ didn't play nobody. You could try to make the argument for the finals. I don't give a fuck what you say. If you made it to the finals, you're somebody. But the road to the finals,
bro,
road to the finals, MJ was going through it, bro. Craig Elo and Brad Daugherty was top 5 in MVP vote, and it was on the same team. Yeah, them niggas.
You want to know?
And they had Larry Nance.
Yeah.
Mark Price.
Like, they had niggas, that Cleveland squad was beasties.
Think about it, and the thing too is, when you think about the players that he beat, I mean, beating Ewing on the way to the chip, it's like the thing is, it was, I don't know how to explain it. It was more or less when you knew you were facing Michael in the in the playoffs, you knew it was, look, if Michael doesn't have an off series, we not winning. We're just gonna do our best to save face.
Your goal was to seed to try to get around Mike. Hopefully, I can see him at the end. Like, your goal was to try to place yourself in the seeding
final.
Yeah, that's where you want to see him.
Because remember the year that PJ Brown did his bullshit with Charlie Ward, and we ended up losing that 3-1 lead, and then they were the ones to go on and face No, was it them? In 97? 97, they faced Chicago in the Eastern Conference. It was Miami and Chicago in the Eastern Conference in 97, right? Or was that 98? Either way, the Miami team he faced was stacked. They had Tim Hardaway. They had Alonzo Mourning. They had Jamal Mashburn. They had Dan Marley. They destroyed the Heat, bro. It's like, when I think about the players that didn't win, who they lost to matters. It matters.
Like, they wasn't losing the bums. Well, except for LeBron. LeBron lost the bums.
Sometimes a dude beats you at the park, you just got to shake his hand. Like, listen, bro.
Oh, no, I'm not shaking nobody like that nigga. I'm not shaking that nigga. Fuck that nigga. You a bum. Fuck out of here, nigga. You got a good day. That's it.
I think who you lost to also plays a role.
It does matter.
Yeah.
I think Quest, you hit it on the head because you were going where I was going. I would pick being Allen Iverson any day of the week than being Robert Horry, Steve Kerr. Obviously, when you're that great, you want to see these guys get the ultimate prize for showing their greatness. But, you know, it's probably the only thing that makes me most disappointed about LeBron, because I really feel like if he didn't start to ring chase, his career would look different. I think he still would have obtained the same accolades. I think he still would have passed in the scoring list and all these different things. He chose his path for the reasons he chose his path. I thought personally was to take some of the load off, and then he ended up not getting it. So I think he was better off not ring chasing, because that leads us into the next question, because I feel like LeBron losing so much in the finals is a bigger thing to most people than the fact that he's been to more finals than a lot of people, right? And so first and foremost, I'll take greatness any day of the week, but then that leads to the next question, which is, would you rather be 6-0 in the finals, or would you rather been to the finals 10 times and win 4 and lost 6?
All right, so let me ask you this question, real quick. Let me ask you this question. Would you rather get to third base with a chick and then she dub you at the end, or would you rather go all the way?
Nah, that blue balls is real.
So give me 6-0.
Nah, bro. Give me 6-0. I'll take.
Listen. There's arguments. Wes, there's arguments being made that people downplay or shit on LeBron because he's been to X amount of straight finals. He's been to this many finals, but he only has what, four chips, right? 4 or 5.
So let me say, like, I get it. Like, it's a feat getting to it, but let's also, I keep telling people, if LeBron would have originally been on the West, he wouldn't have went to so many finals, as we can see now.
Agreed.
He's on the West now, and the West wasn't even as stacked as it was back then.
Agreed.
Where he can't even get out the fucking second round, except for the fucking bubble shit, which was bullshit. I don't give a fuck what nobody said. The bubble shit was bullshit. So he barely getting out of the fucking first round if he's making the playoffs in the fucking West. So if he was originally in the West when he came in, he wouldn't have went to as many finals. LeBron has been placed in he's one of the luckiest NBA players ever. He's been placed in good positions ever since he left the first stint with Cavs. Like, he just was always in a good position.
Let's not go. I know you could talk 2 hours about.
Yeah. I'm not gonna go, but I'd rather be undefeated in the finals than go a bunch of times and lose a lot more than I won. Like, undefeated is always, to me, is gonna be better than anything. If I have 10 fights and I fucking lose 6 of them, am I a good fighter? Nope. You just like to fight, but you don't win them. Right. There's the nigga in my hood. He used to fight all the time. Nigga probably got 2 whole wins. They're about to get it cracking. I know the results already though, but they're about to get it cracking.
Yeah.
They're like, bruh.
92.6 WKBP the spot, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, Kay. What you got for VK?
I mean, that's quick and easy. There's no arguing with a perfect record. What can you say about someone who's never lost before? Nothing. There's no critique. There's nothing you can say about someone who's been there every single time and has won every single time.
And never seen a game 7. What the fuck? That's extra now.
I'm trying to be unbiased and just look at the numbers. I'm not trying to put. That's
a number.
I'm just looking at the numbers. If you have a 6-0 record in championship fights, in anything, if you're 6-0 and then somebody else is 4-10, I'm gonna put my money on the person that's 6-0 every time.
Yeah,
the person that's 6-0 is just better.
So let me ask you something. Before we get to you, Ferg, you can answer right after this because I want to add a slight nuance, right?
All right. It's like, wait. Let me ask. Wait. Let me say this. Let me say this too, right? Let's just say, LBJ had a running mate like Mike had Scotty. Let's say he had a running mate that was with him every championship he went to, and this player, was 4-10. Is he great? Because he got you know what I'm saying? Like he lost 10 times. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, no, a 4-10 record is never better than a 6-0 record. I don't care.
Right. You're not going to consider him great like LeBron's great, and he got the same record and went with him the same times. You're going to look at him like,
So this is why I think this is a very interesting conversation, right? And the nuances are just they're slightly different and it changes the direction. So you saying 6-0, nobody can argue with an undefeated record, right? In another sport, I can challenge that. For instance, I don't believe Floyd Mayweather is going to be the best boxer ever in most people's minds, but he's undefeated, right? So most people would take the undefeated record, but because you never really seen him in a fight, because the great boxers we seen in some actual real fights and broyalty, they'll pick those guys. They'll pick the Alis, the Roys, the Tysons, before they'll pick Mayweather, and those guys got losses on their belt. I'm talking about from Sugar Ray Rock. We could go on and on. It won't be Mayweather to a lot of people for a whole different reasons that I could get into. So when you think about being 6-0 in the finals, just like you think about having a ring and not being great and still being great. In this example, LeBron's great because he keeps getting to the finals, right? If he never won a finals at all, but been there freaking 10 times, right? That would be the knock on him. Just like it's the knock on Charles Barkley for being great but not having the ring, right? So people like to point out that there's a bunch of times Jordan hasn't been to the finals. There's a bunch of times Jordan didn't even get out the first round of the playoffs until he got Scotty, right? And then from Scotty on, it was crazy. And nobody really counts the Wizards, right? So
even though his numbers on the Wizards ain't as bad as people try to make him. But go ahead.
Exactly, especially for his time and his age and the way forget. So my thing is this: the 6-0 is awesome, right? But then people want to talk about what happened before that or what happened after that, right? Some people would take the 10 times making it somewhere where it's hard to make, as opposed to just getting to the promised land 6 times and only 6 times only. Now, Ferg, go ahead. What would you say?
There's a lot of nuance to the comparison that you made as well. The one thing that I never liked about boxing is that you get to pick who you fight.
There you go.
That's a big problem for me. Now, at the same time, I also don't want to take away from Mayweather's technicality.
Yeah.
Because
you may not like it, but 50-0 is 50-0.
Technically, he may have been the most sound boxer technically, which the term is punch and not be punched. Hey, you can't take that away from him. But at the same time, a lot of the dudes that he beat when he fought them, they may not have been what they were at the time. And I blame the sport of boxing more than anything else because of that. Where UFC, you can't run from nobody in the UFC. You get what I'm saying? So in the NBA, what I could say is you play who you play in the NBA, right? But the idea of forming the super team is where LeBron loses me. Because when he realized, yo, it's going to be hard to get past these Celtics. It's going to be, because remember, the Celtics were keeping the Cavs down for a little bit. Then before then, it was the Cleveland Cavaliers, it was the Detroit Pistons, right?
Yeah.
And the dude decides, okay, he's going to team up with Wade and Bosh and all that. I still think the teaming up with Wade and Bosh did not yield the amount of fruit it was supposed to. They should have won more. And the thing is, as soon as he realized that the league caught on to that trio, he forms another one in Cleveland. So my thing is, with him, I can't discredit the finals appearances. But to me, he's more Jerry West, where you're the bridesmaid you're always the bridesmaid. You get what I'm saying? It's like you always the maid of honor at somebody's wedding, but niggas ain't wifing you like that. You know what I mean? And
I like Ferg.
Huh?
I like Ferg. Hey, you're welcome to come back anytime.
Thank you. Listen, like I said, I'm so happy I'm here. You don't understand, man. I love being on this. You guys are great, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're great in my book. You always got a place here with me. I don't care if Donnie. Don't ask Donnie. Ask me.
So
the disrespect, I swear. It be your whole people's first.
Facts. So the thing is, when it comes to the MJ LeBron conversation, I think I credit more Phil Jackson than anything. Jordan had to learn how to win. And when you look at what Phil Jackson did in Los Angeles, listen, Del Harris had Shaq and Kobe and Eddie Jones and Cedric Ceballos. Wasn't doing shit with them. Phil Jackson came in and said, look, we're going to run this triangle. I don't give a shit if you don't want to pass the ball, Kobe. You're going to pass. We're going to throw it to Shaq. And when Shaq gets double, he's going to kick it out to Derek Fisher. And if Derek Fisher's covered, you're going to get the ball back. And what do you know? These motherfuckers win 3 back to back to back. So as much as people want to discredit Michael with Scottie, if you really want to discredit Michael, discredit him with Phil. Because Phil is the only one that has the blueprint before and after when it comes to Michael. Because they were like, oh, he did it because he had Michael. Okay. Shaq and Kobe weren't winning. He went there and showed them how to win. So I think, and the thing with LeBron too is, for example, you can get a cheat code to a video game. But if they don't give you a cheat code to beat the master at the end of the game, you still lose. Because guess what? What builds you up to beat the master is going through the entire game.
Yes.
So if you're gonna take the route,
analogy God.
If you're gonna take the route that is the easiest way to get there, I'm gonna give you one last analogy, right? Imagine you trying to get to the George Washington Bridge, and you're like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not taking the Cross Bronx. I'm gonna take the Major Deegan. What ends up happening when you get to the junction where Major Deegan and Cross Bronx meet up? What happened? You stuck in the same fucking traffic, right? Same fucking traffic. So either way, you're gonna have to face your weakness. And I think LeBron's inability to beat the Warriors consistently, mind you, a team that was built from the ground up the right way, that's gonna be his downfall in that conversation, because he did everything he possibly could to avoid defeat. And when it came time, he couldn't beat that one team. Yeah, he beat them that one time because Draymond screwed that up for him. LeBron would have been 0 and everything against the Warriors if it wasn't for that Game 5 suspension.
I agree.
So I would rather be 6-0. You know, hands down. Hands down.
Easy.
You know what's so interesting about the LeBron conversation? And I didn't think about it until you said this, Ferg. So it's funny how when, you know, the fellas wanted to know who the guest was going to be. And I said, you guys don't have no clue who this gentleman is, right? And when I talked about having a guest on the show, Quest is like, yo, I want somebody completely different. So it's weird that you're saying something that I've never heard anybody in our crew. We have a deep ass crew, right? I've never heard somebody say what you just said that made it click for me. I think if I'm correct, all of LeBron's losses, right, came from organic teams.
Yes.
Spurs,
I didn't think about that until just now, until you said it, right? Because Golden State did their thing right from the ground up, with the exception of the KD. KD was just that one little free agent signing, right? But the core of that team was homegrown. The Spurs was homegrown.
The Mavericks too.
The Mavericks only had one star.
Yeah.
In Dirk, everybody else was role players.
Yep.
So they didn't build. No, listen, Jason, I love Jason. I know all the players that was on that team. And this is not taking nothing away from those guys.
But it was Dirk.
Dirk was the closer and the main scorer. Everybody else just played the role. Jason
Nigga lost to Jason Terry.
Huh?
Nigga lost to Jason Terry. Jason Terry's bumping their ass.
Chill. He lost to Jason Terry and JJ Barea. JJ
Barea. Yay, Barea.
Okay.
Nigga. Hold on. And prior to that, he lost to Skip to Malou. This nigga's a bum. He lost to Skip to Malou, and it wasn't at the Rucker. Come on. What the fuck? Oh, Kobe would never. Shit.
Yeah. And it's crazy, D, because every championship LeBron got was inorganic. It wasn't organic. It's like he had to build a super team in Miami. Then, you know, he goes to Cleveland. It's Kyrie. It's Kevin Love. You know, look, sometimes people say that I reach. A lot of times, to play with LeBron, you basically have to give up everything that made you
dumb down your game.
Yep, you have to.
The only person that didn't do it was D-Wade. And he still kind of dumbed down his game.
And you know why? Because D-Wade proved it. I did it before you, bro.
Right.
This is my city. You coming to my team.
Wade County.
Right. Yeah. D-Wade had to tell, because D-Wade says it. They lost the first year against the Mavericks because they were playing too much my turn, your turn. And D-Wade was just like, nah, bro, you going to have to lead it. And to his credit, when they did that, they did win too. I'll give him that. But the idea that it's like LeBron brings his thing, it's like y'all all got to bend the knee to me. You know,
everybody got to turn into spot-up shooters.
Thank you. Like you basically take Kevin Love from the low post threat he was, and you turn him into a corner three. You know, Chris Bosh.
He was averaging 25 and fucking 15.
Bro, people forget how great Chris Bosh was in Toronto before he went to Miami.
You know what it is about LeBron fans? Who they try to downplay his teammates to make him look better. I hate that they do that, bro.
Don't do it because dude played with Hall of Famers too. Okay,
yeah, bro.
He played with Hall of Famers too, and
a bunch of Hall of Famers.
He went out and recruited them. See, the one thing that Michael Jordan hated about Jerry Krause was that Jerry Krause said general managers win championships and players play. He fucking hated that dude till he died for saying that shit.
And I did too. Not just me. I hated him too.
I hated it too, because guess what?
I hate it so right now.
Because when I watched that documentary and he tried to push Tony Kukoc on them, what did them motherfuckers do? In the they fucking shut Tony Kukoc down in the Olympics. They wanted to make the point. They wanted to make the point. Yeah, you the general manager, you put the team together, but you know what? You ain't out there playing. You ain't out there playing. And I think with LeBron, LeBron loves to assemble talent, but if that talent doesn't mesh with him,
it's over.
Then he don't.
Prime example. Look at Russ.
Russell Westbrook. I was about to say Russell Westbrook.
Prime example.
Right. He turned down Buddy Hield to get Westbrook. You don't mess with Westbrook.
What I don't like about the way LeBron does it is the scapegoat is already pre-prepared for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's never going to be him.
Get the blame.
He's never going to be him. It's never going to be him. Because if Michael loses, you ain't blaming nobody but Michael. You know what I'm saying? If Shaq lost, it's on Shaq.
When Kobe lost,
it's on Ewing. Barkley lost, it's on Barkley. LeBron lost, the guys weren't hitting threes. You know, he made the right play. Nah, it's on you. You getting all the credit, you got to get all the blame. That's how I see it.
I agree. And they never give him the blame.
No, they don't. They
never.
Find ways to say, oh, no, it wasn't his fault. Nah, you know. But
he's babied. The NBA took him and they cradled him. They babied him.
And look, to his credit too, nobody's been that hype coming out of high school. Don't get it twisted. He did deliver on the hype. I'll give him that. But one thing that I do notice when it comes to the NBA is they always need to pass the torch from one person to the next. He did his job as far as the NBA. Like if you Adam Silver, you can't look at LeBron and say nothing when it comes to that. Whether you love LeBron or you hate LeBron, because I know
move the league forward.
Yeah, you're gonna watch. You're gonna watch. He moved the league forward. The biggest thing that I think he did, which made a lot of sense for me, him and Chris Paul, was the restructuring of contracts for all NBA players. I think that was big time. Bringing in the max contract stuff where, you know, and then you got the super max. Now with all the load management stuff, that kind of dilutes that. Right. It dilutes that, but I think they're gonna fix it now. But I think it made sense where, you know what, you can't pay LeBron and Udonis Haslem the same money. You can't. You can't.
Well, listen, I know one of our co-hosts is going to eventually have to leave us, but I want to make sure I get his opinion on this then, because it leads into another topic I want to touch real quick. Kay, who do you believe? Because he talked about passing the torch. Who do you think is the next to carry the torch in the NBA then? Once LeBron leaves, who will be the face of the NBA?
I know who they.
I like impromptu questions because it gives. I like when y'all pause to think.
I know who they want it to be
because there's a few. The league is in a good spot. See?
Yeah, they're in good hands.
Yeah, they're in good hands. It's like it's not because I got to think. It's like how many choices do you want?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
If you had to pick the guy, pick the guy.
Giannis. He already got the ring. He already got MVPs. He already got the Defensive Player of the Year. He got the work ethic. He's that attitude.
He's wholesome.
From nothing. He comes from nothing and he plays with nobody on that court. He's the nicest person off the court, but on that court, he's playing with nobody. I'm not playing with you at all. I'm putting you in this rim. I'm athletic. You can't guard me, and you're in the rim now. I'm in the open court and you're in the rim. And he just had you see the thing that we were just talking a lot about LeBron. One of the best things and the most important thing that LeBron has done for me, as far as for the Black community, is that his entire career, he has never, ever had an off the court issue.
Facts.
Not a chick that said he did something wrong. He's never slapped a little kid. He's never looked at somebody the wrong way throughout his entire career. You can never say he did anything wrong off the court that would make the league or make the Black community or anything around him look bad. And in that respect, I can see Giannis being more of that than anybody else.
Yeah.
One person, it would be Giannis, because I just love Giannis' demeanor. and how humble he was when he was younger, saying, I want to be one of the greats one day. That video of like 17, 18-year-old Giannis, where he's sitting there telling you, like, I remember, because I seen in his face, he's saying, I'm going to be one of the best in this league. He said, right now I'm not, but KD, everybody, he said, I'm going to be one of the greatest players in this league. And back then, it's like, yo, who is this kid? Who is this kid? But then when you remember, like, that was Giannis, his heart. That's him from back then. And you see where he is now, Giannis.
Yeah.
You know what's so crazy? We were talking about personality. Giannis has one of the best personalities in the NBA. Him and Luka, as far as personality wise, you can tell in their interviews, they make jokes. Those guys, Giannis could absolutely be the face of the NBA going forward. Absolutely.
You remember what he did when he won the championship? My dude went to Chick-fil-A and ordered 50 sandwiches. Like, you can't make that shit up, bro.
You can't make that
I love Giannis.
And he went to the drive-thru. He didn't walk in.
Let me tell you when I knew Giannis was going to be it. One, like I said, I hate LeBron. I'm the number one. Besides my godfather, Skip, I hate LeBron. But off the court, that's my godfather. Off the court.
You wear the do-rag to look like a mullet?
Yeah. Oh, no, don't worry. I'm getting my hair done. And when I get my hair done, y'all going to see. I'm going to pull up with it. Y'all going to see one day. But off the court, I love LeBron James. Absolutely love him. He makes black people look amazing.
Yeah.
He has a beautiful wife, beautiful family. He's family first. He's at all his kids' games. It don't matter what the fuck he got going on. He's at the games. He's always with his wife. No blemishes whatsoever. You can't put no smut on his name. And for him to be rich from fucking 17 and to get it, that's dumb hard to do.
In the
so I love LeBron era. And like you said, especially in the social media era, facts. And Giannis, like, he came from the mud. Like, you watched Boney up, now he brolic up. You know what I knew he was in? 2K predicted it, right? I'm an avid 2K kid. Play 2K. My man Didi used to use the Bucks, right? He knew about Giannis before I even knew what the fuck Antetokounmpo was. Giannis was like a 65 in 2K at that time. Nigga was giving everybody 40 with a 65 overall Giannis, bro. He used to talk about Giannis all day. I'm like, who the fuck? Why is this nigga busting my ass with this nigga? Pause. With a pause. With a 65 overall. 65 overall.
Busting my ass with this nigga.
That was crazy. Pause. Yeah, that was crazy. That was a little crazy. Part of my speech, fellas.
I'm about to put care.
Shout out to Bally and Easy right now, because the pause there's a lot of pausing going on. Y'all missing out on this.
That was Giannis was a beast, bro. And then right there, I was like, nah, who is this nigga? And then he started started wilding on the league. Wilding. Like, he be wilding on the league. And he was playing point guard them times. That's what Jason Kidd.
When Jason Kidd was his coach, and then he was dead averaging like 8 to 9 assists a game back then.
He loves to credit Jason Kidd for the development of his game.
Yes.
And you can see the Jason Kidd in his game.
Yeah. Because the thing is, I think Jason Kidd made him a better player. Budenholzer coached the guys around him to be better around him. But Giannis owes Jason Kidd everything, because when you look at what he had coming into the league, what was Giannis's main skill coming in? Think about it. He was just long.
Yeah,
pause.
That's it.
But when you think about his skill development, mind you, he still doesn't have the jump shot, but his ability to get down the court
and do what he wants.
Four strides, dude's dunking. You still got to have handle. You got to have
his handle, he good money with the handle.
Yeah. And I think that Jason Kidd played.
You know he can't shoot.
Yeah.
And you know what he's about to do, but there's nothing you can do about it. Like,
Thank you. Do you know how hard that is?
You going?
Where you literally coaches are setting up walls to keep him out the paint.
They started playing zone.
Yes.
The zone killed him that one year with what's his name in them? Who played the zone on that year and killed him in the playoffs? Miami?
Oh, well, listen, if there's one coach that could come up with a defensive scheme to kill your best player, it's Eric Spoelstra. I'll give him that.
Yeah, it was Miami that killed him that year with the zone.
Yeah.
And
well,
I think he learned how to get rid of that.
I think Miami runs the best zone. Miami and Toronto. Well, now Nick Nurse is not there no more.
I think the zone is terrible for the NBA. If you can't guard your fucking man, get the fuck off the court.
I agree. But I also think that because the rules favor the offense so much,
you got to play zone.
If you're going to take the zone away, you got to bring back hand checking.
Mm-hmm.
Because then if you take the zone away and you're not going to have hand checking, Steph Curry, John Morant, Kyrie, these guys, they had to find a way to even up the score, but I don't think the zone was the right idea. Bring the physicality back if you ask me.
I agree.
That's what I would have done. But to answer D's question, it's funny. I was thinking that the league wants it so bad to be Morant. Look at how hard they went to the PR that they put behind him.
I think it's good though. Like besides the little hiccups, you know who John Morant? John Morant's the Chris Brown of the NBA.
Yes. I love that. I love that comparison. Because when you really think about it, right? John Morant didn't really commit any crimes.
Right.
But they put so much PR behind him to make sure, and mind you, all you hear got Jalen Rose, Stephen A. Smith, all you hear them talking about is don't fumble the bag. Don't fumble the bag. This is your opportunity. And when you think about it, the league loves little guys. Because if you got little guys, that means you got kids watching that think they could be him. And how else do you get new fans by getting kids into the game? You know what I mean? And that's why kids see Steph Curry, they're like, I can do that. Think about it. Look at AAU basketball right now. All they want to do is shoot threes.
Bruh. First of all, hold on. Little kids is jumping out the window to go get them some Steph Curry sneakers.
Facts.
I would never wear no Under Armour unless it's clothing. And that's because I'm doing some sports shit.
And Nike fumbled that bag big time. You know why Nike didn't give him the deal, right?
Why?
Because he wanted to put Philippians 4:13 on the side of the shoe, and Nike didn't want him to do it. I can do everything through Christ who strengthens me. And you know how Nike is.
Look what he did for Under Armour.
Yeah, Under Armour's like, fuck it. We're not selling those sneakers anyway. So
bring it on.
Yo, like you said though, little kids bring them. Yo, you know how crazy these little kids is going for LaMelo Ball sneakers? You know how hard it is to get those Pumas?
Facts.
It's dumb hard though. Because your kid, I don't know if you got kids, but you know how it is. When your kid wants to, they're gonna be beasting, and you're gonna go out your way to go get it.
Yeah.
So when you get the kids, and John Morant got the kids because he's exciting, he's fun, he's doing the dances they do, like he's one of them. He's what is he like 21, 20?
Exactly. And the thing is, he's listening to the same music they're listening to. He's the same height as them.
Jump off the roof, Uzi Vert, whatever the names is,
Yeah. No, so look, I think the NBA wants it to be him. I don't really see. See the thing with Giannis, I would want it to be Giannis. I agree with y'all 100%. I think it should be him. I just know the way the NBA wants to go, they probably gonna go with the little guy. But I would want it to be Giannis too.
I mean, it is Giannis, whether they like it or not at the moment.
I agree.
It's not John. It's not John.
I think like Giannis is still kind of young on the low. Like, what is Giannis?
He's
not
20
yet. Yeah.
So like 30.
Ja got
like
time.
28, right? 28?
He's like 28.
Yeah, he's not 30. I know that.
Because the torch isn't being passed not for another 4 or 5 years. Because think about it. Remember when Jordan retired in 98? Even though he came back with the Wizards, but from 98 until the LeBron, Bosh, Wade, Melo, and CP3 draft, there was a lull in the action. Like
There was really though.
No.
Here's my thing.
It was past Kobe already.
There was parity in the league, but it wasn't like the league was going like those guys. That draft class did a lot to bring eyeballs back to the league.
Yeah, that's the second best draft ever.
Yo, after the 1984 draft, it's them, in my opinion.
Wait,
you don't think the 97 was better?
Well, think about what the 84 draft produced. If I'm not mistaken,
forget 84. You said the best draft after 84 was what?
No. So for like, as far as I understand the Kobe draft, I'm not killing that. What I'm saying is, he was saying that's the second best draft, and I personally think 84's draft was better than the Kobe draft. You produced more champions with the 84 draft.
Wait. Who's in the Kobe draft again?
So the Kobe draft.
Hold on, you want me to tell you? Iverson, Kobe, Ray Allen,
Stephon Marbury,
Jermaine O'Neal, Stojakovic, Camby, Kerry Kittle.
And that's not better than the LeBron draft with Carmelo and D Wade. That's the 05 draft, right? That's not better than LeBron's draft.
That's the 03.
That's the 04 draft. The 04 draft got LeBron, Melo, D Wade, Bosh, and CP3.
Yeah.
And then
better than the Kobe draft.
How many MVPs came out of that draft?
I'm not talking about MVPs per se.
I'm just saying, but it's just one MVP out of that whole draft.
Okay, so now let me ask you a question. If you go back to the 1984 draft, when you had Hakeem and Jordan leading, if I'm not, I can't remember, 84, was Drexler 84 as well?
I believe so. Drexler was in there too.
Drexler was next, 5.
Drexler was 85? What about, wasn't
Barkley? Hakeem came out before Drexler.
Who came out before Drexler?
Hakeem.
Because I know they were on the same team together in Houston, if I'm not mistaken,
and he got drafted first, yeah. And then I think Drexler was the next year.
Okay. Because the reason why I'm saying it is that if you look at like a lot of times it's in waves. So for example, that 96 draft produced a lot of players, but it was still Jordan's league.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because from 98 to LeBron's draft, whose league was it? You can't tell me whose league it was.
Kobe.
It wasn't Kobe's league.
It was Shaq's.
It was Shaq's league.
Okay.
It was Shaq's league.
And mind you, it was Shaq's league at the tail end of the golden era for centers. The guards weren't really taking over the game just yet. And once that LeBron era hit and the game became more of if you notice the rule changes, the NBA changed a lot of the rules during that time where they started taking away a lot of the abilities that you had on defense. Because
during that shit, it was more of a small forward league when those niggas came.
That's my point. And they needed to improve scoring in the league. So if you think about it, right at the tail end of Shaq's run, they made it a scoring league where you really couldn't defend anymore. And they did that so that they could prioritize the talents coming out with the D Wades and the Carmelo, and that's what I was saying. I mean, I'll have to go back and revisit that, but if you think about
the top 3 drafts ever, we could all agree on those.
Facts. No, there's no argument.
What order you put it in is your order, but
it don't matter. The only thing I'll take away from any of those drafts as a deterrent, it was Karl Malone's suit. That's it. That's it.
Oh my God. So what? Damn, I forgot where we was at.
We were talking about the passing of the torch.
Face of the NBA. So Quest thinks it's Ja. Giannis.
No, I agree that it's Giannis, but I feel like once the Giannis, because Giannis is older than those guys, I think it's gonna be Ja. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be Ja. It's gonna die down.
I think they want it to be Luka. That's who I think they want it to be. I think they wanted to be Luka.
Or even Joker.
No,
I don't see it being the white boy at all.
I think they wanted to be. I do not believe. I don't know why I believe this. I don't have no proof to this, right? But something about it makes me feel like they wanted to be a foreign player to now be the face of the NBA.
Like when y'all was it?
Yeah, but y'all wasn't the face. It was just bringing in a new genre of people that had a huge following to bring popularity to the NBA. What I think is European or overseas players have been a thing since Tony Kukoc, maybe since even before that. And I think Drazen Petrovic, straight up. So, the level to where it's risen. Think about how the NBA has been getting the games to be played in London and stuff like that. I think they're trying to shift it where we get more of the international fans and attention. And I think a guy like Luka or Joker, even Giannis, because the Greek freak, et cetera, so forth. I think that's where they want to go with it. And the problem is, I don't know if the reason why I lean towards Giannis because he's already won, but I also don't. I feel like Luka's gonna be unlikable soon. I think he's starting to turn the corner a little bit. He used to be that smile, that kid next door type look.
He's not the baby face no more. He's about to go heel.
Yeah, I think he's turning the corner where he's gonna become unlikable. So I think the NBA would like it to be Luka, but I think whoever's winning is gonna be the face.
I want to say this real quick, and this is gonna sound. I care less how it sounds. Ain't no white boy gonna be the face. That's just what it is.
Well, Jerry West.
The last white boy that was the face was Larry Bird.
Jerry West is the logo.
He's an idiot.
Nah, I don't know about all of that. Now look, Jerry
West
maybe he may be the bridesmaid going to the finals, losing all them damn times, but Jerry West was a bad man.
That's why we need to change the logo to Kobe.
Oh, you think it should be Kobe?
Of course, it should be Kobe.
You wouldn't make it Jordan?
No, he already got his logo on the sneakers. I don't want to see that shit again.
Okay,
the most famous logo in the world.
It probably is, but it's already on sneakers.
So, okay, that's true. It is on sneakers.
And it's on some jerseys.
Yeah.
I need the logo to be Kobe. The beam.
Okay, if the logo were to be Kobe, what would the silhouette be?
You know the dunk that he did, the one with like, which dunk is that? Because he has
the one on Steve Nash.
Oh, right.
He scrubbed his balls. No, Steve Nash
like, you know the Kobe dunk when he like leans and like both knees is up. Like you'll know when you see it.
That if you go back and look at that highlight, he got it off a deflection. Steve Nash tried to draw a charge.
Right. But I don't want it to be the one where he dunking on somebody. Just him.
Just him. Okay. I see.
Yeah. But okay. I mean, I don't see the last white boy that was the face of the league was who? Larry Bird.
Yeah, but even then, what Bird and Magic did at the time was it brought. This is why David Stern is a fucking genius, because he marketed Celtics Lakers around white and black, and they did such a great job with it. Where you really people forget that the Celtics had a whole bunch of black players. It didn't matter.
Yeah, they had the one white boy that
all
mattered.
Niggas was Lakers fans, and all the white people was Celtics fans. Me, because there's an HBO got a documentary, Bird and Magic, and Cedric Maxwell talks about that. Like they forget that we was on the team, so yeah, Larry Bird. And I think, if there's one thing, Larry Bird doesn't get mentioned enough, and it's not fair. Larry Bird was a beast.
True.
Larry Bird was a beast. Like Magic Johnson will tell you that, they used to read each other's press clippings. They would stay up or Larry Bird was playing on the East Coast. First thing he did when he would open the newspaper was look to see what Magic did the night before, because he was playing the West Coast games. So it's not that it can't happen, For this to happen, though, the NBA would have to adopt some of FIBA's rules. Because me personally, I prefer FIBA basketball more than I do the NBA.
What rules in FIBA is different from the NBA that you would like to be
goaltending? Like you could grab the ball off the rim.
The goaltending
is paint one. Is different.
The lane, the trapezoid is different. Yeah. And because of the physicality of the European style of play, you can still bring the 3-point line in. Oh, sorry, my daughter, my sweetie, daddy. So because of the physicality, they still hand check. You can still move the guard with your forearm if you want. And I think that because the skill level in the NBA has gotten so to the point where you can't defend, the only way you can bring some sort of leveling playing field is to bring in a more fundamental style of play.
It's damn hard to play defense with your belly button.
Yeah, thank you.
It's dumb hard to stay in front of somebody like this. Like
right. Now, don't get it. Now, here's the thing, though. If you bring in a game, a style of play like the way they play FIBA, you do lose a Ja Morant. Because Ja Morant ain't going to be running into
get crazy.
Nah. So this is why I tell you, the NBA is so star-driven that they basically tailor fit the product to whoever they want that next guy to be. So if it's gonna be a European style player, they're gonna have to tailor fit that game to that guy, and I don't think they're gonna do it.
I don't think they have enough. If the like Joker and Luka, they don't have enough flavor. Like it ain't enough. Well, they don't have enough flavor to be the fit.
They just there to play ball. They just there to play ball.
Exactly. Like Joker, I like Joker, but I can't sit there and be like, I don't want to see his interviews. I don't want to like.
It's the same shit they said about Tim Duncan, but guess what? The guy's name is the Big Fundamental. You could. I don't know that there's a better nickname for a player.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect nickname. Yeah. And it's unforgettable. You're not gonna forget that nickname at all.
Nope.
But what's so funny is I saw an interview with Jamal Murray is talking about Joker. These guys are actually, they got personality. They don't just get to put it on display. He said they're playing Utah, and Gobert says, I got Joker. And Joker gets the ball. And he says, brother, I have 47. And then he proceeds to do his moves. Yo, Jamal Murray says, yo, that's how Joker talks trash. That shit is hilarious.
You know who else had a story similar? KG said the one player
Tim Duncan.
He could never get under his skin was Tim Duncan. And there was one time KD said the wildest shit to him. And then Duncan just raises up, banks the shit off the glass. And then on the way back to court, he goes, nice try. Like, KD was like, you know what? I'm not going to talk about
it. That shit would get me tight too. That shit would get me OG tight. Like, nigga hit me with some shit and then pat me on my ass and say, good defense.
Yo, he said, nice try. And then Kevin Garnett goes, yo, I had to realize I was getting knocked off of my game trying to get him. Meanwhile, I look up first half, dude got 20 and 10 on me, and I'm talking bad shit.
He ain't even paying you about, hey, good game, man. Good defense, man.
Good defense, yeah. Good try. I definitely think Luka could be. I think the Luka, Joker, and Giannis. They were saying a lot of the foreign players have spoken out and said it's easier for them to score in the NBA as opposed to international play. So that's why they look so good in the NBA. You would think transitioning to the NBA would be a little more difficult for them, and it's been much easier.
Yeah.
I mean, look at a nigga
that's another reason why Luka looked way slimmer before coming to the NBA too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Niggas in Europe be pro from fucking Tony Parker was a pro from 14, bro. Luka been a pro since he was 15. Like, them niggas start from early playing pro basketball. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when they come here, I can see, like, look how long Tony Parker was really him. Like, Tony Parker had a long career of success, being like playing at the same level successfully. Like niggas been pro, they've been playing grown men, and European dudes be like, look at Joker. Joker like he does security at a fucking Russian bar.
Yeah, but yo,
FYI, Tony Parker's not a Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a
You don't think he should be?
Nope. That's just my opinion. That's one of my unpopular opinions.
Oh, because that's TP9.com. You better log on.
He'll get in. He'll get in.
He's already elected in. I just don't think he is.
Yeah.
He deserves.
You just don't think he belongs in there.
No, I don't think he belongs.
Nah, he belongs. He deserves that.
But you know what? That's look. This is the thing too. A lot of Popovich guys don't get credit for how good they were because
the system.
Because when you look at the Spurs, they're the New England Patriots of the NBA. Where
saying that for you.
Popovich puts you in a position where you can't make a mistake. Because if you make a mistake, that's because you fucked up.
Yeah.
He gonna put you in a position.
You're a dub. Huh? Yeah, you fuck up, you're a dub.
I actually really like Tony Parker. Anybody that knows me knows I really fuck with the Spurs. The problem is that to me, Hall of Fame has to be a combo of two things. It has to be a level of greatness that can be shown in statistics while also having some success, meaning you could get some championships. Like I understand Chris Webber's, to me, numbers. Let's just use Chris Webber because I know that's your man, 50 grand, Quest, right? Chris Webber's, to me, numbers look better than Tony Parker's, right? And the level of success, the only thing he doesn't have is a championship. So I understand why Chris Webber, mind you, Chris Webber took forever to get in. But the problem is Tony Parker got chips, which is why he got in. But I don't think his numbers is up there.
Tony Parker, though, for his whole time in the league, was a top 5 point guard. His whole time in the league.
He was a top 5 the whole time.
You don't think so? Think about who was playing while Tony Parker was playing. It was Steve Nash, Jason Kidd towards the end, then CP3. I mean, think about if you look at the thing with Tony Parker is Tony Parker had a run where he was competing with guys in the Western Conference that, and again, I think the system that he played in is what hurts him. But I can't just diminish his talent because of the system he played in.
I'm not diminishing. I think
I'm a fan.
I just don't think he was a top 5 point guard. Huh?
He was leading the league in points in the paint at 6 foot. Bro. That wasn't a thing for guards.
Right.
With no dunking. With no dunking.
Right.
He was dunking the ball. He was points in the paint without dunking.
Okay. That's a great stat.
That's a big feat, bro. And he ran a traditional point guard game. He used to bust prime Chris Paul ass on the regular. Prime Chris Paul, he was busting his ass on the regular.
And the thing with Tony Parker is, Tony Parker had something that you couldn't teach. He had speed. He had speed.
Crazy handle on the low.
And the thing is,
and a move. The teardrop. Nobody's teardrop was better than his.
And the other thing too is Tony Parker's drives to the basket were never from the top of the key. He would always attack from the elbows. Why? Because you've got to have crazy lateral movement to stop him. And he knew his advantage. If he attacks from the elbow, you can't slide your feet fast enough to stay with him.
And then when your big man comes, over the top.
Over the top. I think Tony Parker's downfall when it comes to the comparison is he was another fundamental player. He wasn't flashy.
I don't think to me, I'm just look at it like there's a bunch of point guards that played during his time.
You're wrong.
A bunch of point guards. But like I said, my only argument is statistics. And if the statistic is he was one of the best to score in the paint, that's not Hall of Fame worthy to me. I mean, I don't know. That's just my opinion.
I'm gonna get some unpopular numbers. You want to see some numbers? I'm gonna get some numbers for you, and I'm gonna bring them back to you.
Yeah. You're gonna bring back nothing. You're not gonna bring back much. I watched the game. I know it is. You're not gonna bring back nothing.
I'm bringing back the disrespect for TP9.com will not be tolerated.
Oh, don't forget. And he was smashing his teammates' girls. Like, you gotta give him credit for that too.
Your son Frenchie LeBear.
Yeah, man. He was
Stop playing with my son Gambit. Stop playing with my son Frenchie LeBear.
Wait, Kay, real quick.
On and off the court, bro.
Kay, real quick. You think Tony Parker's a Hall of Famer?
What was that?
You think Tony Parker's a Hall of Famer?
What?
Okay.
Oh, my my phone breaking up. Of course, I think TP's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, okay. All right.
Darn, they be tweaking.
You said it. I don't know why we go for this long, but he's a Hall of Famer.
Okay, I just wanted your opinion.
They were close. Like, they were always he came through in the playoffs plenty of times.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't have those rings if it wasn't for him.
I agree.
They also had the white Kobe Bryant, but still.
And
Kobe.
Listen, Manu Ginobili is one of the. I've never seen a team have a big three where the third guy is the sixth man.
Yeah.
And the reason why they did, and it's funny because, do you remember we had this conversation a few months ago when I was just like, man, if RJ could be Manu Ginobili, I would sign up for that in a heartbeat. Let him be the sixth man coming off the bench and just tear shit up coming off the bench.
But you know what the crazy it's the stigma that comes with coming off the bench. We all hoop. You never wanted to be the nigga off the you want to start. Like, starting is something. It's the stigma. And the best six-man niggas is niggas that didn't mind. Like Jamal Crawford, Ginobili, they could have been starters anywhere. Lou Will, starters anywhere.
Let me tell you, my father told me watching ball when he first came from Haiti, right? He said the two guys he loved the most coming off the bench was Mark Aguirre and Vinnie Johnson on the Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
He said the reason why they call Vinnie Johnson microwave. The microwave. That like, dude, he came off the bench and you knew what he was in there for.
Instant.
And you could not stop him. When they call you the microwave, bro,
that's a fire name. That's fire.
That's another big time.
I didn't know that was name.
The microwave.
Yeah, that's fire.
So my thing is, with the Spurs, I think there's a lot of nuance to their conversation for the sole fact that they were just like a well-oiled machine where they were the first, I think, to master analytics in the game.
And they drafted really well. Like, they're not going for the niggas everybody was going for. Like, they getting Tiago Splitters and like they just getting off-brand shit. You're like, who the fuck is this?
And mind you,
the nigga come and kill.
Mind you, because they were doing so well, they were drafting late.
Mm-hmm.
So
and getting good shit.
There were
finding all the gems because Kawhi went like 26 or something, right?
Yeah,
Kawhi was late. Tony Parker was late. Ginobili was late. Tim Duncan and David Robinson were the only top picks they got. Everyone else was late.
Yeah.
So, that's why
Manu Ginobili deserves Hall of Fame more to me than Tony Parker. That's
just first of all, you gotta get his name correct. He's the white Kobe Bryant, aka Manu Jacoby. Get his name correct.
You think he's better than Stephulius Carrando?
He better than a who and a what?
Do you know who I'm talking about? Stephulius Carrando.
Who the fuck is that? Is it Julius Randle?
It's Stephulius Carrando. Okay.
No, that sounds like a Harry Potter character.
Fans out of control.
I thought that was a Harry Potter character.
No, we didn't go. Listen. This nigga, I sent him a clip. This nigga be watching the games and giving niggas nicknames. And he gave Randall, because he loved taking threes, the nigga called him Stephulius Carrando. It's Steph.
No, that sounds like a Harry Potter name. That nigga go to Hogwarts.
Yo, Stephulius Carrando.
Nah, I'm like,
be having me rolling.
Oh, that's crazy. That's funny.
When D sent me the tape, he was like, "Yo, Ferg, that's you watching the games."
That's fucking funny.
Listen, I just believe Manu believe. Like, for instance, Tony Kukoc, if he wasn't a foreign player that didn't make an impact on the Bulls, he wouldn't have made the Hall of Fame either. He don't have the numbers to back it up.
Tony Kukoc is nice though.
It don't matter if you nice. If being nice is the only thing you gotta be to get in the NBA. Kenny Anderson and Rod Strickland should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but don't forget though. Don't forget the Hall of Fame is not solely what you did in the NBA. For example,
basketball.
There's people that think Christian Laettner should be in the Hall of Fame because of what he did at Duke.
Melo's gonna get in because of more of his other shit than NBA.
Well, Melo had a Hall of Fame NBA career.
Melo had a Hall of Fame NBA career.
He had a Hall of Fame NBA career.
His numbers back it up. That's what I'm saying.
And the thing is,
back it up.
And he didn't play long enough in college for him to just get in on his even though he played 1 year and won a chip, he didn't play long enough.
College, USA.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta let Kate go. We gotta let Kate go. I know you guys to go, brother. Uh-oh. We about to cut it short.
I gotta get ready for work.
Yo.
Oh man.
So we're gonna let him go. And we're gonna cut it. We're about to cut it short anyway. We're about to be done. It's 1 o'clock. Yeah, I think I only put it for 2 hours anyway. So this is about to cut us off soon anyway. But this was another episode of Straight from the Block. We're gonna end it here, fellas, and pick up on another time because we could do this for hours.
Oh, fast.
Right, Bird? We could do this for hours on hours on hours. I'm your host, Stefano. Okay, holla on the way out.
You already know, man. Simon, aka Mr. Simon, man. We out of here.
Quest.
You already roll it is, man. It's your boy Quest Roll, aka Crip Baylor. Stop playing me, you heard? Gang.
And our special guest, Mr. Ferg himself, Haitian Ferg.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for stopping by and giving your insight. It was great having you.
Thanks for having me.
You're always welcome,
man.
Definitely.
More than happy to be here. I love to be back next time, man.
Yes, next time it will be live. We'll get some live viewership. We'll be live. We'll try to go live this week. I think that's
Monday. We're supposed to be hooping, right?
Huh? Tuesday?
Hooping Monday, right?
I don't know if it's Monday or Tuesday. I'm not sure.
I think everybody agreed on Monday.
We'll see.
Go a little live.
We'll go live from the b-ball court. How about that?
Yeah, I sound like a plan.
All right. You can listen to us once again on 92.6 WKBP, The Spot. Anchor, Spotify, everywhere that you can listen to podcasts, we're available. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.